Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. This is episode number 5 of my Wise Words Wednesday podcast series. Whether you're joining me on Facebook, on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on my website, or wherever this may end up, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you can take something from it. My name is Holly, and I'm a holistic and spiritual entrepreneur. I'm a holistic healer, a spiritual healer, a tarot reader, a light worker, a spiritual development coach and facilitator, as well as a spiritual medium, and loads of other labels. There's loads of other things you could label me with, I suppose, but they're the main things that I'm pushing forward in this series. I aspire to inspire others to live happier, healthier, and more spiritual lives in any way that I can. So I hope that these words that come through do help you in some way towards some of those goals. Now, if you have missed any of my previous videos, please feel free to go and check them out, all of which are sort of based on energy stuff, on personal development, personal growth. I've talked about things like self-love, how to clear and protect your energy, the importance of having the right mindset, and how to adjust your mindset if it's not as you'd like it to be. And also the last episode I did was about the law of attraction and how that's been used to great effect in my life, and some tips and tricks and blocks. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please go and check those episodes out. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. Obviously, these are huge discussion points. These are huge areas that could be stretched out over long episodes, long series. I mean, people do whole day workshops on these things, if not, monthly programs. So, this is just kind of dip your toe in the water, just to give you something to think about, really. I hope to give some practical advice, and I will only talk about things from my own personal experience, because I think, unless you've lived these things, then there's not much advice you can give. In this episode, I'm going to talk about living authentically, living with authenticity, and, how that's really, really important. Now, living with authenticity is something that I used to really struggle with in my life. I always used to hold back or misrepresent myself to other people, but that's not going to happen anymore. I don't know whether it's because I'm in my 30s now, whether or not because I'm a mum and I feel more confident because of that. There's a few things that have happened in my life that may have changed my outlook. But I've started embracing my whole self and really portraying that to the world, nothing hidden away. And it is a truly liberating and life-changing experience. Any of my friends that might be listening to this will probably be able to say that there is a notable difference in me and my levels of happiness and contentedness since I decided just to go all out and really wear my heart on my sleeve and be who I'm supposed to be. Now, when you are trying to find your place in the world, if you have low self-esteem in one area or another, then it's very easy to fall into the habit of hiding your true self, or even just hiding aspects of yourself that you feel a little bit insecure about, or you feel that people are going to judge you about. You either have to try very hard to blend in, or try your best to be liked, try to become memorable for other reasons, diverting attention away from your insecurities, and you become a people pleaser or try to become invisible if you're not fully happy or fully confident in yourself. For myself, it was a combination of a few of those different things, really. For one reason or another, it took me many years and working through a lot of my own bullshit before I finally figured out what living authentically really meant to me. The liberation you feel is utterly phenomenal. It's absolutely crazy. It's a very scary thing. And it most definitely requires a lot of balls to be able to just stand up and shout from the rooftop, "This is who I am, and I don't care what you think of me." But when you start to embrace fully who you are, warts and all, when you own up to your mistakes and flaws, forgive yourself and fully accept the lessons learned, when you no longer care about what people think of you or say about you, your whole experience of the world changes and true happiness becomes possible. If you live an inauthentic life, you're doing your unique and magical self a disservice. If your relationships with others, no matter how big or small, are based on lies or deceptions, or even misconceptions for that matter, then they are fragile and you will constantly live with the worry of being found out, or the notion that if they knew the truth, they would lose affection for you, or not want to bother with you, or not want to spend time with you. And that all comes from the fear that you're not enough. For some people, a lot of inner work needs to be done in order to release and let go of the ego, which is ultimately what this all comes down to, is, the ego does not want to be damaged. And this is a very difficult job to do fully. I mean, monks spend a lifetime in meditation, in solitary meditation, to try and banish the ego. It's not something that's easily done, but it is a mindset thing, like I talked about a couple of episodes ago. It is all about your mindset, which can be addressed. But if we do constantly live our life looking for the approval of other people, then we'll never fully shine, and we will never truly reach our full potential for happiness, or become our greatest version for that matter. To fully embrace our authenticity, we first of all need to know who we are. We need to be honest with ourselves, which can be brutal, it can be horrible. And a lot of people spend their lives, again, trying to not face themselves, through distraction and escapism. But we do need to take a long, hard look. We need to practice compassion and forgiveness and look at our insecurities head on. For a lot of people, this is a really hard thing to achieve, but it is absolutely worth it. That shadow work, they call it. Looking at the darkest aspects of yourself, looking at your biggest regrets and the things that you don't like about yourself, and really examining them and working through them. It's hard, but oh my God, it's worth it. It's no means a walk in the park, but it's about stripping everything back and building yourself back up again. If you want to be a better person, be a better person. If you want to be a kinder, more outgoing, more creative, proactive, fitter person, if you want to be more musical, more knowledgeable, then do it. There's nothing holding you back but yourself. For example, if you like science fiction or comic books or heavy metal or disco or folk music or fantasy novels, embrace that. Don't be ashamed of those things. Embrace your weirdness. We choose who we are. Yes, events shape us, but ultimately we must take responsibility. Every day is a new opportunity for personal development and personal growth. To pursue your dreams or investigate new interests, or to release our past. You don't have to go along with the crowd. You don't have to do what is expected of you or what would make others happy. And you certainly don't have to do what is easiest or most convenient. Dismiss what insults your soul. Dismiss what feels wrong and go with what feels right. Embrace what lights you up and makes your heart sing. Every belief we have about ourselves is a result of programming we've received at some point in our lives. And like in a computer, all programming can be changed. For me, the journey of self-acceptance was greatly assisted by my journey into becoming a holistic healer. I did a lot of work on myself through counselling courses, Reiki, etc., etc. Over the years I've done a lot of journaling. I've done a lot of meditation and mindfulness practice. My spiritual development journey has been a huge aspect of helping me to find acceptance of myself, really, and embracing that. It took me years before I really started to open up. I was going to a spiritual development group every single week. Well, until my recent maternity leave, I've been going every single week for 12 years. But it took me a long time before I opened up about that to people. I think over 8 years before I started telling people. A lot of my friends didn't even know that was such a huge part of my life. And it was through fear of being judged, I think. I didn't want to be labelled by people. And embracing that and starting to tell people about that really changed the game in so many areas. I felt liberated. I felt accepted. I felt like I was blazing a trail, if you like, and saying, well, look, if I can open up about this, then what's stopping other people from doing the same and welcoming things into their lives that maybe they would have been a bit more dubious about. But anyway, having wonderful friends has also helped. Having a partner who absolutely loves my weirdness. Doing yoga really helps you to feel comfortable in your own skin, and that's really helped me as well accept who I am. Definitely becoming a mum, and definitely, becoming older. I'm in my 30s now. I'm 31, and I think there is definitely a quiet confidence that comes with growing older. I remember a lot of my friends were panicking about turning 30, but for me it was a milestone that I was looking forward to, because I knew that I would feel more relaxed, like I had less to prove. Yeah. And also another thing that's really helped me to kind of embrace who I am and to really just be my true self is actually just going on social media and posting the things that really come from my soul, and actually having an outpouring of love from complete strangers from across the world, meeting kindred spirits and like minds that actually are into all the same weird quirky things as me, that have the same sense of humor, the same outlook on life. And that's one thing that's really wonderful about the modern age, is that technology, well, it's allowing me to record this podcast, but it's making the world a smaller place, and it's helping people to find their tribe and to connect with people that maybe, they wouldn't have been able to do before. So it is allowing people to come out as themselves a lot more. But yes, once you start to embrace your weirdness, your truly authentic self, and your friends stick around, your self-esteem will grow. Those who don't, then they're not worth your time anyway. Like I said just now, you have to blaze a trail. Do what you want to do, even if you're doing it alone. Stand up for what you believe in, even if you're standing alone. You have no idea who looks up to you, so don't do them a disservice. And there's so many people in your life, I'm sure, that love you so much, that are so, so proud of you. And it does them a disservice too, if you're not being your true self. Now, people everywhere fear judgment from others. People strive for acceptance all the time. People worry about all sorts of things, about being vegan or not being vegan, about living an ethical lifestyle. Is it ethical enough? Do you buy natural products or not? Do you only buy organic products or not? Have you breastfed your baby or bottle fed your baby? People worry about judgment of their mental or physical health, whether they're employed, educated, whether they're overweight whether they're underweight, whether they've got tattoos or piercings. People are constantly being judged for their musical preferences, whether or not they've vaccinated or not vaccinated their child, whether they're raising their children vegan, whether they're gay, straight, trans, black, white, yellow or green. People are constantly fear judgment from other people. And to be honest, at the end of the day, if you live authentically, then the only person whose opinion that should matter to you is you. The only person whose opinion really matters is yours. Only you genuinely know the effort that you've put in, whether you've acted with compassion, if you did and are doing your best in life, if you were a kind and fair person. You only know the type of thoughts that you're sending out to the world, where if you're sending out love or negativity and spite. If you are happy with the answer to these questions, then none of the other stuff matters. And to be honest, there's an expression, I haven't heard it for a while actually, but I think it goes something like, those who care don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Something like that. Basically, those who judge you, then they're not worthy of being in your life anyway. And those that matter, that are worthy of being in your life, they're not going to judge you, So I want you to bear that in mind. And I just want to finish this up by saying something that I know. We are all energetic and spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. We're all here now for a reason, and that is not to fit in and live a bland and unmemorable life. Our uniqueness and our differences ought to be celebrated. We shouldn't be trying to blend in. We should be trying to stand out. Never ever let anyone make you feel small. And never let anyone dim your shine. You are a magical, spiritual being of light and love. And that is damn awesome. Thank you so much for listening. I hope these words have resonated with you. I hope somewhere there's a seed been planted that stops you feeling insecure, that stops you worrying about what other people think, because damn them. Don't let them judge you. Because nobody's perfect, okay? So I'll leave that thought with you. Thanks again for listening. If you don't already, please go check out my social media accounts. I'm Holly's Holistic Healing on Facebook. I'm at holistic_Holly on Instagram and Twitter. My website is hollysHolisticHealing.co.uk. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe and follow my pages. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Whether you are listening to this the morning, afternoon or evening, enjoy the rest of your day. Love, light and many blessings. Namaste.